Good evening and welcome to the Clark N. Sager Jr. and John F. Kennedy Jr. Memorial Lingerie Boutique for the Performing Arts. Thank you all so much for coming out. Thank you, Deb, for providing me with this stage. This is now our this is our fourth collaboration in just over it's been well, okay, fifth if we count that. We got that self-indulgent exercise, and yeah, I'm really gonna miss this.
So are we.
I am going to miss this. Now if you do happen to enjoy tonight's show, and I'm not saying you will, I'm not saying you won't either, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just saying, if you do enjoy tonight's show, it is entirely due to the efforts of some heroes that I would like to pay tribute to. Now these seven people, I can't say enough about them. These are people who largely could not be here with us tonight. So what they did for me was they failed to come up with a second alibi on the spot. And so they attended my dress rehearsal on December 18th. Yes, a dress rehearsal of this. And helped me work out the kinks, figured out my problem areas, of which there weren't too many. I mean, I think I only had to cut like 78 minutes. The rest was eminently salvageable. Anyway, I would like to read these people's names now into history. Deborah Lewis, Rusty Hoover, Lois DeLivio, Jenya Naranskaya, Joe Pisarczyk, Christopher Glutton for Punishment Miato, and Amy Gross. Heroes all. And yet I don't think you appreciate the gravity of their sacrifice. I bookended that show with musical numbers. Truly, your debt to this courageous baker's half dozen can never be paid. I still can't believe I did a dress rehearsal. Oh, God, that is so presumptuous. It's like putting together a planning committee for a blanket fort. That bright idea came to me, this is true, right after I walked into a tree. Let me clarify. I don't mean I misjudged how low a branch was hanging and got my hat snagged. I'm talking a full-on frontal collision with a tree, after which I had this idea. I was debating the correlation versus causation of it. Finally landed on the latter. I think the little circling cartoon birds resolved into a light bulb. So, I guess you could say I added a second show due to popular demand.
Oh, God.
The vast majority of the jokes you will hear tonight were written well before the tree incident. Oh, brother. Okay. Yeah, walked right into that tree, boy. Wow. And see, that is the downside of being the guy who's never on his phone. Because those that know me know, I don't live your cyborg life, man. I don't do it. And but that means that when you absolutely positively have to Google something, you have not developed collision detection. Just stand still. Just look it up, then walk. So, but that brings us to one of tonight's themes. Now you walked across this little patch of astroturf on your way in, and that is not intended as a means of keeping the slush from getting on the floor. Yeah, we don't care what state we leave this place in now, right? We don't care. How reinforced are you? That's not why this astroturf is here. This is here as a reminder that we could all stand to touch grass. Touch grass. Now, if you don't know what this means, this is an exhortation to go outside. Not necessarily literally outside. You gotta put pants on, but a more faithful translation to the spirit of touch grass might be log off. It's just a way of telling you. You can't just sit there letting the algorithm cook your brain. Right? You gotta get away from it. Now, and you know, even I need this advice. I don't suspect a lot of you need this advice. I think I might actually be the most terminally online one in the room. I don't think you guys are even online enough to mistake the Portland frog for Pepe the frog. You probably think meme is 2 syllables. 2 solipsistic syllables. But we don't need to touch grass, and so I've got the home edition here when I really need it. We can all share in it together later. You can get your caressing fingers ready and touch that grass. I know it's not real grass. Look, the genuine article is in pretty short supply these days, so this will have to work as your methadone. And because you gotta log off, people. You gotta touch grass. I mean, even I, a middle-aged man who does, and this is a conservative estimate, I do 99% of my online activity on a desktop PC, running Windows 8, for that matter. Oh, I shut off updates when it crashed by, and now it's all like every month. Like, can we please don't get you? Like, fuck you. No, I don't need Gemini on my desktop. But even someone like me, and I don't interact a lot. I'm mostly a lurker. But even I can just feel myself being driven slowly mad. Just as I'm scrolling through your discourse, I can feel myself just being radicalized against my will. Because, man, it's true what they say. Opinions are like assholes. I spend way too much time looking at them on the internet. All right, so let's kick this off. Let's kick off this 4th and final Galatea show. This is the final installment of what I will forever consider the Broadrilogy. If this is your first time here, you don't get that, but that's fine. This is a properly dystopian look for tonight's subject matter. Yeah. Now, I'd like to start off by saying, and I'm very proud to announce this, No AI was used in the writing of this set. You can applaud that. You can applaud that. Matter of fact, just to be on the safe side, no I was used at all. A or otherwise. Never touch the stuff. I stick with my organic unintelligence. And people know. People can tell the difference. I'm pretty sure that's why people don't laugh at my jokes so much as say, "Oh, you." It's because they're letting me know. That they know. It's all me. All right, so this is our look back at 2025. Please hold your spit until all the honorees have been announced. It wasn't all bad. At least one good thing happened in 2025. James Gunn's Superman was released to critical and commercial acclaim. Y'all Zack Snyder fans are mad about that. Yeah. That's right, I am on fire. And, Zack Snyder fans are mad that the new Superman's got set. Okay, this is just for me. There's a whole corner of the internet that worships Zack Snyder as a god. And they are convinced to this day that Man of Steel got snubbed by the Oscars. Fellas, you got to give it up. It's a pretty movie. It's lensed well. No one's saying you can't enjoy it. It's not a good film. I must admit, I have a soft spot for it. I enjoy Man of Steel mostly because of the ending. If you haven't seen it, what happens at the end of Man of Steel? This is such a fascinating directorial choice. It ends with a voiceover by Diane Lane as Ma Kent. And she is speaking to Superman in the present day. And she is saying, she says to him, and I quote, "Oh, Clark, we always knew you'd be a hero someday." And the accompanying visual is a sepia-toned flashback to Kal-El's youth on his parents' farm in Kansas. And he's playing make-believe. Outside, he has a tablecloth wrapped around his neck like a cape, and he's pretending to fly, prompting at least one viewer to ask, "Okay, but if you grow up to be, who are you imitating?" "Pa, call the boy in for dinner, would you? He's out back playing Dracula." So, I can neither confirm nor deny the accolades for the new Superman film. I haven't seen it yet. All I need to know is that James Gunn introduced Crypto the Superdog into the zeitgeist, to my eternal gratitude, because now I named my dog Crypto. Okay, see, here's the way it went down. I didn't mean to name him that. I was calling him that as a placeholder while I cast about for something more appropriate. And one of my clients at the time was a comic book artist. And he was just like, "Well, Superman has a dog named Crypto, and he's also all white. You should just stick with it. It's spelled differently, but, I mean, he can't read, so, it should work for calling to dinner purposes." And I was like, sold. And from then on, he was Crypto. And, okay, so guess what I realized, I don't know, 4 or 5 months after that? You know what I realized? 4 to 5 months after naming my dog Crypto? I realized what my name is. Told my mom that story. A week later, I got a Superman logo mug in the mail. I was on the phone nipping that shit in the bud right quick. Like, all right, listen, bitch, we're not doing this. This is, you know I collect Star Wars crap. I do not have the room to be a 2 IP household. It's just an interesting coincidence. But roughly 72 hours after I named my dog Crypto is when it came to have its current unsavory association with Bitcoin and the like. So, yeah, for 7 or 8 years there, his full Christian name was Crypto, not as in the currency. There's a hyphen in there somewhere. So yeah, that was a legit problem. I considered changing it. But knowing me, I would have just made it worse. You know? You named your dog NFT? Nice fuzzy terrier. What's the problem? Now that Superman's out, I don't get that anymore. I've even had a number of people tell me, like, hey, that looks like Crypto. And I'm like, funny you should say that. Now he's, you know, he's not named after the super dog. He is named after his undescended testicle. But I would much rather be mistaken for a comic book nerd than a libertarian tech bro. I would rather be mistaken for an undescended testicle than a libertarian tech bro. Oh, man. All right. Okay. All right. I hate to get depressing this early in, but oh, man, guys. I'm just so sick of him. Oh, I'm so sick of him, you guys. Oh, I'm sick of his voice. I'm sick of his face. I'm sick of his fans. You gotta love how I don't need to specify. You know? We all know who I'm talking about. Mr. Friggin' Ubiquitous. The inescapable man. You can't turn on the TV or go online without seeing him. And it's just, What drives me nuts about it is just knowing I'm in the minority here. I mean, so many of you like the guy. You support the guy. You consider him like this icon of masculinity. And I'm like, glass houses, I know, but he's kind of fruity, right? Again, not even a criticism, but he kind of is. But man, people fall in line and they just love the guy, and I don't understand it. Because I mean, look, set substance aside, put aside anything he's actually done, just on a purely visceral level, the man just sets my teeth on edge. And again, clearly I am in the minority here, so. Okay, fine. Tell me what I'm missing. I'm all ears. What is so great about Pedro Pascal? Do we need to cast him in everything? The worst beard in Hollywood. Not Vanessa Kirby, she's cool. I mean, his actual facial hair. And he thinks it's like Samson's hair. He refuses to shave it. He won't touch it. Not even for a role as iconic as Reed Mr. Fantastic Richards. No, he's got to leave the beard because he's convinced it looks good. I'm like, dude, it looks like you've been Frenching a chocolate lab. What? Oh, you know who else is annoying? Trump. Right? That guy? Ugh. And yet, I would argue, not the most annoying member of the Trump administration. I'm not even convinced he's the worst Trump. But I think as far as the whole gang goes, the worst, to me, for my money, that's got to go to RFK Jr. RFK Jr., the answer to the question, could we make a golem entirely out of HGH and neck waddle? And furthermore, would this pitiable homunculus look uncannily like the transitional stage on the old Incredible Hulk TV show between Bill Bixbyism and Lou Ferrignosity? The answer to both these questions is yes. Ugly, ugly man. He looks like Freddy Krueger, and I don't mean he looks like Robert Englund with scar tissue prosthetics. I mean, he looks like, remember when Freddy would appear as like a snake? Or like, he would appear in the pizza toppings to taunt you, right? Eric's champing at the bit to correct me. Yeah. I know it wasn't Freddy and the pizza toppings. Those were the souls of his victims. I was just trying to streamline the gag. I needed to touch more grass in the 80s. That's what I'm learning from this. Yeah. Who else in the Trump administration? Oh God, who was that weird lesbian with the chainsaw? What? Remember her? She ran Doge for the week it existed, starved a bunch of Africans, and then just like peaced out. Like, nobody voted for her, I'm pretty sure. I say this and people are like, Clark, that's Elon Musk. That's a straight man. Yeah, okay, pull the other one. With that bone structure and haircut, wearing a blazer and jeans combo everywhere, driving an EV with power tools just in case the need arises. Yeah, I think I know what a lesbian looks like. Now, I would believe you if you told me he was a trans man. That I would believe. Because that would actually cast his monomaniacal anti-woke crusade in a new light. Because, I mean, the man hates trans people, and self-loathing can be an incredibly strong motivator. Oh, and what would a stand-up comedian know about that? No, we all know his anti-trans thing is because his daughter's trans and he disowned her. That's too sad to get into. But I would believe you if you told me Elon Musk was a trans man, as long as you specified a trans man who can't bind worth shit. Now, how are you going to pass with those things flopping around? Busty fella. Oh, man. I know a guy who's a school teacher of all things. He does not believe transgenderism is a thing. He doesn't believe trans people exist. And I'm like, oh, okay, if they don't exist, then who's doing all the Pokemon fan art? And he's like, no. I mean, I believe they believe it. But this is it's all social contagion, he says. I was like, really? Explain. He said, well, look, it's simple. Everybody wants to be, different and special, but at the same time, everybody wants to be part of something bigger than themselves. So this fad comes along, and they latch onto it, and they make it their entire personality. And, doctors and scientists just fall in line because they know if they challenge this delusion, they'll be basically just, hounded by crazy people on the internet. So they figure, it's just easier to aid and abet And that's how you get transgender people. And look, I did not take that line down, guys. I set him straight. I was like, hey man, listen. You're thinking of long COVID. That's the big one. No, I'm not a long COVID truther. I know it's real. Heck, I'm sure there's lots of diseases that exclusively target the most annoying blue sky accounts. Let's see. I just realized I forgot my prop phone for my. Eric, could you do me a huge favor? My Darth Vader backpack is back by the door to the bathroom. Could you reach in to the front pocket? There is a secondary pocket in the front pocket, and there will be a cell phone in there. Could you grab that for me? That would be fantastic. No.
Like both hands.
I only gave myself an hour to preset. This is all for the Bob Newhart tribute bit that I did preset for. I should have just ran back and grabbed myself. Guys, hang on one sec. Take this opportunity to check out my good side. Okay, here's how that bit was supposed to go. All right, so who else in this administration? I don't talk shit about. Oh, jeez. Oh, man, okay, of course they're calling now. Guys, I'm really sorry. I left my phone on vibrate because I'm waiting to hear about a family thing. I have to take this, I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot you make noise when you turn on. Let's see, I don't recognize this number. This might not be them. Let's see. Hello? 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 I know you're there. I can hear you drawing up plans to partition Quebec. Oh, this is a DC area code. Oh, I know what this is. The Secretary of Defense just drunk dialed me. Oh, sorry, the Secretary of War. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get Captain OPSEC on the line here. Hey, Pete. Peter. Pete. Hey, oh, hey, there he is. There's Pete. Hey, yeah. I don't know, man. You called me. So what's the? Yeah, you didn't. Don't put me on speakerphone, Pete. Well, yeah, I understand that. You can strangle your mistress later. He totally did that. Yeah, no, yeah, Pete. Listen, I'm kind of in the middle of a comedy thing, so I can't really talk. You do, huh? All right, let me hear it. I don't know, Pete. What has two thumbs, a raft of DUIs, and designs on Greenland? This guy, right? Should have seen where that was going. Does anybody even remember Signalgate at this point?
Yes.
Oh, really good. Okay. Or Bob Newhart, for that matter. let me just wrap this up. All right. Hey, yeah, Pete. Listen, I'm gonna. Yeah, no, I have to. How do I get rid of this guy? Jeez. All right. Pete, behind you, a boat. There he goes. All right. Hates boats, that guy. It's pathological. Because we hate what we don't understand. And he's just like, but rocks don't float, and they're nowhere near as big as that boat. Send a missile. Anybody watch that video, that double tap video? I finally let my curiosity get the better of me. I wish it hadn't. You cannot unsee something like that. But now it's just burned into my retinas forever. Just your tax dollars at work, ladies and gentlemen. I have this memory of my government, for no discernible reason, just straight up annihilating two unarmed, helpless human beings. And all those drugs just sent them right to the bottom of the... Pull yourself together, Clark. Oh, God. Man. See, this is my problem with this administration is, I mean, Hank said, I got strangled his mistress. The guy's got Nazi tattoos. And what comedic tack am I taking with drinking? Drinks a lot. Not hitting him on what really matters. Not that having Nazi tattoos is a disqualifier in and of itself. Isn't that right, Bernie? Does anybody here recognize the name Graham Plattner?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we should come up and feel the soft touch. Because, I mean, Mainers should only have a dim idea of who that guy is. Like the election's up for like 5 months. But have no fear, people. Wherever a female Democrat stands a chance of toppling a Republican incumbent, Bernie will be there. With some shitty, unvetted dude in tow. But no, I'm sure this time's different. Sure, this one will work out. This one won't immediately turn into a right-wing rat fucker like all the rest. This isn't like John Fetterman, or Brett Welder, or Randy Iron Stash Bryce. If he costs us McMorrow, I swear to God, I need to see Mallory McMorrow in the Senate. Okay, that's not right. I need to see Mallory McMorrow in Riverdance. But I will take the Senate. I'll take it. Who else is in this? Man. Yeah, Nazis, huh? I mean, Nazis have always been part of our political discussion. But remember when they used to be metaphorical? Remember that? Not a substantial voting bloc? Those were the days. Oh, man. Did you know that there is an official Nazi haircut? I'm not talking about skinheads. You don't see them around anymore. No. The official Nazi haircut it's shaved like all the way around with just a tuft of hair on top. And it looks like their mom did it for them. Ironically enough, with a yarmulke. And now you'll recognize this haircut from the Charlottesville Tiki Torch Nazis. You know, the Jews will not replace us guys. They all had that haircut. Dan Bavino had a DHS. He's got the haircut. He knows what he's doing. And I guess the idea is that's how they were wearing it in Germany in the 30s. But like, we've had a number of fashion revolutions since then, you know? And Now look, when people accuse others of cultural appropriation, I almost always think that's bullshit, to be honest. And frankly, un-American bullshit. Whatever you come out of the melting pot with, that's yours. That's my attitude. That said, if I were a white supremacist, I don't think I would ask my barber for a high top fade. You put on some hammer pants while you're at it? Like, what? Where are we? Hey there, Frank. Yeah, gotta look good for the big cross burning. Give me the kid and play. We must secure an existence for our people and a future for white children. Still got it. Sciatica. Man. Who else is in this? Oh, God. I overlooked one. Yeah. And now I have to walk back something I was just saying. I'm sorry if I just heavily implied that Bernie Sanders is perhaps not the most enthusiastic advocate of women's political futures. Because Tulsi Gabbard, she'd be nowhere today without Bernie. No, she'd still be in Hawaii. But no, Sanders Institute fellow Tulsi Gabbard is now Trump's director of national intelligence. And she's a known Russian plant. So that's, kind of a huge Putin fangirl, just in case you were still holding out hope that we might not betray Ukraine. I have a message for the people of Ukraine. No, that's not really a message. I have a question for the people. Not all. I have a question for roughly half the population of Ukraine. Women of Ukraine, you do realize you're blonde already, right? Not blonde enough! Sun in, 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 sun in. Oh, Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard is the perfect example of what they call horseshoe theory. You guys know what horseshoe theory is? Anybody heard of that? Okay. You know what? I'm just going to stand right on this. Hopefully that'll counteract the internet brainworms a little bit. Okay, the horseshoe theory stipulates that the far ends, the far right and the far left of the political spectrum are closer to each other than they are to moderates of either party. And Tulsi Gabbard, great example of that. And, now that I'm thinking about it, you know who else is a great example of that? RFK Jr. I'm sorry, I thought he was just going to come up the once. He came up again. I apologize. I'm sure this will be it. I'm sure he will be, you'll be free for him for the rest of the show after this one. But no, our RFK Jr., that is a prime example of horseshoe theory. Because he used to be one of us. Back in the day, big-time environmentalist. He even had a show, they gave him his own show on Air America. And he had spasmodic dysphonia even then. And it tells you something that he was one of the more soothing voices on Air America. Man, oh boy, that lineup was lightning in a bottle in terms of glass shattering ability. Someone that does that. But no, RFK Jr., perfect example of horseshoe theory. Used to be a member of the left in good standing, but now looks and sounds just like he got trampled by a team of Clydesdales. Clydesdales were horseshoes. That's what kills me about this administration, all the people in it, it's just more than the incompetence, more than the evil. It's that they are just beyond parody. I mean, Hegseth, I'm hitting him for the drinking instead of the Nazi tats. Tulsi Gabbard, you want to make a joke about her being a Kremlin stooge? Fine, but then you have to leave out the part about the Hare Krishna splinter sect homophobic doomsday cult that she's in. I'm not making this up, guys. That's real. But the audience ain't going to buy it all in one package, so you got to choose. Beyond parody. And it all starts at the top. It all starts at the top. The very first joke I did on how he, slapped his own name on the Kennedy Center. Yeah. Okay, it's actually the Donald J. Trump and the John F. Kennedy Jr. Memorial Center for the Performing Arts. I had to cut out the extraneous "the," unlike these morons who don't know how articles work. I had to cut it out. I had to edit their idiocy down because otherwise you'd think I fucked up the joke. I didn't fuck up the joke. He fucked up the building. This is why I get so mad when people say, and you've all heard this, not as much as I have, but you've heard it. They were saying it after he got elected the first time. They were saying after he got elected the second time. I had a comedian say this to my face like 3 weeks ago. Please, do not say to me, at least he's good for comedy. He's not good for comedy. He is the death of comedy. Because comedy often involves exaggeration. It's not the be-all, end-all. It's not the soul of wit. But it's a pretty handy thing to have in the toolbox. And you can't use it on this. The man is the living embodiment of ad absurdum. Good luck, jokesters. Good luck finding the on-ramp to the hyperbole highway with this guy. Ugh. He believes you should inject Clorox. He believes the stealth bomber belongs to Wonder Woman. Where are you going to go? What I think every time someone says, well, at least he's good for comedy, I think, this is like if Henny Youngman, and now this is the kind of fresh, up-to-date reference you come to Clark for. If Bob Newhart was a little too after your time, maybe you'll get this one. It's like if Henny Youngman's wife got kidnapped. And the G-men assigned to the case were like, hey, Henny, look on the bright side. More grist for your mill. It's not funny. They took my wife. They're going to kill her. Do your fucking job! Please. And there's a corollary to at least he's good for comedy. Goes a little something like this. You probably heard this one too. At least it'll be interesting. He sure does keep you on your toes. This is not interesting. I'm sure you find this all fascinating if you're a complete dullard. But most of you are now learning in real time what people like me, people who have seen the film adaptation of Cormac McCarthy's The Road, could have told you all along. An apocalypse without zombies is boring. It's all so boring. This is boring. Authoritarian drift is boring. There's nothing novel you've seen it a million times. Fascism, boring. Project 2025, it's the strongman playbook. You've seen those plays run a million times. They slap a new name on it. Everyone treats it like the Necronomicon. And these guys think they're evil geniuses. They're like, oh, well, our consolidation of power continues apace. We've installed our lackeys at legacy media. We've scapegoated out groups. You'll never guess what we have next in store for you, America. Let me guess, troops in the streets. Next, we're going to put troops in the... What? How'd you know? Did Hagstaff leak that check too? It was supposed to be a surprise. Troops in the streets, man. Never thought I'd see the day. And this is where I think a lot of credit should go to outgoing Mayor Ravi Bala and our other local electeds for getting out ahead of this and playing a bad hand as best they could. They made sure that this administration couldn't turn Hoboken into the next, Chicago or D.C. And the way they did that was by refusing to let Trump even have an excuse to send in his goon squad. No, they immediately just brought the hammer down on the high crime area of town. That seedy underbelly of Hoboken. ShopRite? Oh yeah, no, they clamped down hard on that, beefed up security. Now, the shutdown was ongoing at the time, so they couldn't use, regular law enforcement. They had to call in, contractors. I don't know if it's Blackwater they got over there. And I saw this firsthand. I went over there a while back, and this is true. I went there because reduced fat Pringles were half off. And so I wanted to stock up. So I head to ShopRite, and I'm right at the door, flanking the entrance. These two huge rent-a-cops, just mean mugging you. And one white, one Hispanic, and I'm just looking at these two guys, and I'm thinking, okay, that's funny because I came here to get a poor substitute for chips.
Oh, God.
So I go in, and a third soldier of fortune was patrolling the aisles. Now I might have thought the two stationed outside would be enough to quell any potential uprisings. But I wasn't thinking about response time, Because, yeah, sure, if the shit goes down in the deli, then, yeah, those two guys are enough. They've got you covered. But What if someone's murdering you with a Carvel cake? You can't wait. By the time help arrives, you'll be Fudgy the corpse. And so it's good they had 3. I'm not convinced they needed their service weapons. I'm not sure you really need to pack heat in ShopRite. I would think the old nightstick taser combo would be sufficient to bring those coupon clipping animals to heel. But I guess these guys just feel safer just knowing they got the threat of lethal force behind them. Limit form per customer, motherfucker! Picture one of these guys with roid rage just freaking out on a head of cabbage. You're not lettuce, what are you? I managed to make it out in one piece. I didn't even get pepper sprayed. A lot of people in Chicago and DC wish they could say the same. Bit of a mixed blessing in my case. I don't know if you've had reduced fat Pringles. They could have used that flavor blast. Let me tell you. A little tang would not have gone amiss. Oh man. At least it'll be interesting. You know, you heard that from a lot was the press. The media thought like that. Because competent governments bores them to tears. Oh, they're still mad we took their cash cow away for 4 years. Oh, God, they hated having Trump out of office. I mean, some of it's ideological alignment, not most. Most it's just chaos is good for business. Get some clicks. These people are sociopaths. No better example of that than Lawfare Nuzzy. Anybody know what I'm referring to? We know about the Nuzzy Liza
Yes.
situation? Okay, stay after class. I don't think, touching might not be sufficient. If you know about Olivia Nuzzy and Ryan Liza, you might need to graze. You might. But, and Sanford. Another part. I was going to leave that part out to streamline the joke because, again, beyond parody, these motherfuckers.
Exactly.
Two geriatric Republicans. Okay, so if you don't know, Olivia Nuzzy was a journalist who was engaged to another journalist, Ryan Liza. Now, don't feel bad that this guy got cuckolded. He's a piece of shit, too. She accepted his proposal well after he was fired from the New Yorker for sexual harassment. Nobody in this story deserves your sympathy. But Olivia Nuzzy was having an affair with a third-party candidate. So she wrote a hit piece on Biden. She was doing catch and kill for the guy she was dating, which is a little unethical. And, she was like 30 at the time, and he was 70 something. And, I forgot to mention who this candidate was. RFK Jr. That's so crazy. I keep thinking we've left him in the past, but he pops up with suspicious regularity. Imagine losing your girl to that. God damn. My man looks like a charcoal rub of a wood carving. Right? Which is appropriate because he sounds like a wood carver. Chipper, a wood chipper. I'm sorry. Sounds like a wood chipper. Ugh, man. Now again, Olivia Nuzzy, she's a monster. But I feel like I need to hold out some grace for her because look, maybe she was going to be on that path regardless. Maybe she would have ended up spending her 20s running around with geriatric wingnuts. But I'm skeptical. I don't think things would have turned out this way for her if it weren't for the fact that she was groomed as a teenager by Keith Olbermann. Yes, that Keith Olbermann. Liberal lion Keith Olbermann, who she moved in with when she was 18 and running away from home because this isn't scuzzy enough. And she found welcome in the arms of Keith Olbermann, who was at the time the exact age I am now. Because that's the real horseshoe, right? Predation. That's the true horseshoe is where shitty men on the right and left penises meet. I'm not going to follow that analogy any further. You get the gist. Man, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Am I the only middle-aged man who likes women my own age? You can applaud for that. Apparently this makes me some kind of unicorn in today's dating market. But I do. I like women my own age. And not a nanosecond older. No, thank you. Whoa, January 1973. Stop gumming me! That's something I never understood about the whole Me Too movement, man. Not men's depravity or the avalanche of victims. None of that is a surprise, sadly. But just how many septuagenarians get caught up in that dragnet? How are you still a walking hard-on at your age? How does your prostate even allow for the blood flow necessary? Compared to you, I am in the full flowering of youth, and I'm not Charlie Rose. Look at that. The face of PBS. A titan of broadcasting. And he just gets shit canned in his golden years because he can't stop sexually harassing his 25-year-old assistant. 25! Less than a third of his age. I wouldn't even have sex with a 25-year-old. All right, let me back up. I wouldn't even initiate sex with a 25-year-old. And if you're looking to blow off steam after graduate school and your daddy issues outweigh your visual acuity and your better judgment, hey, hit me up. Oh, God. Men. We're the problem, it's we. We are the problem, guys. We're the problem. And now that I'm kind of on my way out of the stand-up game, I'm thinking of making a lateral move. You might have heard it said ever since the election when men swung so hard to the right. You may have heard it said that liberals need their own version of podcasting sensation, the Joe Rogan Experience. See, we need a Joe Rogan of the left. Fine, I'll do it. I'll start a podcast. I'd really rather not, but time to face facts. I'm a doughy white pothead who never shaves. I can't outrun my destiny forever. So fine, I'll start a podcast. So hey, don't forget to, as they say, like and subscribe to the Clark Sexperience. Okay, that was supposed to be a portmanteau of my last name, Sager, and experience. It doesn't come off that way, now that I hear it. I have got to start practicing out loud. But thinking about it, that's actually not the worst name for this podcast, because I plan to focus like a laser on the male loneliness epidemic, of which so many of our current woes are downstream. Because there are men on the internet, a huge swath of angry young men, poorly socialized, just at the mercy of the algorithm. They call them incels. Now that word incel, that is short for Zack Snyder fan. And these young men with really no social lives, no romantic prospects, nothing going for them. They're just getting increasingly radicalized, and they are just sitting prey for the Andrew Tates of the world, other manosphere figures. And someone's got to get in there and disrupt that cycle. Someone's got to reach out and talk to them in their own language. And I think that's me. I think I'm the one to do that. And you may well ask, but Clark, there's no shortage of left-leaning men in content creation spaces. What makes you think you can compete with the likes of Destiny, Hassan the Hun, Vaush, Chapo Trap House, and Charlemagne the God? To which I would reply, what? Are you just stringing random words together, or am I having a stroke? Speak English. Does anybody recognize any of those podcasters?
Yeah.
You're very good. Okay, so you need this more than I do. Maybe we'll cut these little nodules off and you put them in your pocket, like a rabbit's foot for people with a less than 0% chance of melanoma.
That's the first one.
Oh man, let's see. Man, I want to talk about some of the stories of 2025, but I just, does any of this not tie directly back to Trump? The Canadian wildfires. You'd think a story like that, we could, have a little bipartisan chuckle, at the misfortunes of our neighbors to the north. But no, even that ties back. Remember the wildfires? Remember that earlier in the year? It was just, skies were all orange. Remember NPR was trying to scare me. They were telling me along with the weather, they were saying you should only go outside if you absolutely have to. Because breathing this air is the equivalent of 6 cigarettes. That's what they told me. Equivalent of 6 cigarettes. I was like, yeah, I could do second breakfast. But, yeah, I don't even like calling them wildfires, though, because that implies that they were set unintentionally. And I don't think that's the case. Not in the current climate. I'm picturing just a line at the border of bonfires being tended to by Mounties. Just waving the smoke over. Yeah, here you go. Here you go. How you like that, USA? How do you like having a neighbor who is always at the forefront of your mind? Beavers fanning it with their tails. Oh, man. Canada will never forgive us. They will never forgive us for electing this guy twice. 51st state. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, man. Yeah. Well, there was a shutdown. You can't really divorce that from Trump. Big old shutdown. Yep. Yeah. And if the shutdown affected you personally, if you were out of work for any length of time, you certainly have my sympathy. But I just hope you made the best of a bad situation. I hope you got to spend some quality time with your family. Got to spend some time with your kids. Throw the ball around, reading to them. You'll never regret spending more time with your kids. They grow up so fast. Especially since RFK Jr. mandated Pedialyte contain at least 15% somatropin. They shoot up like weeds now. See, this is what I'm saying about those guys. If I didn't make that up, that wouldn't crack the 5 craziest goddamn things the guy's done.
Yeah.
I was having dark thoughts during that shutdown. Dark thought. Here's a dark thought for you. I was thinking, and I am not a father myself. You're welcome, teachers. I do not have children of my own, but during the shutdown, I couldn't help but think, ooh, man, this is a great opportunity for people to get their children vaccinated. That's not a thought I should be having about a nominally first world nation. Hey, guys, Big Brother's looking the other way. Quick, everybody follow the unanimous advice of the medical and scientific communities. Man. Oh, in a bit of joke streamlining before I left something out. It turns out RFK Jr. has recently admitted he might have been wrong about something. Because he's always said that vaccines cause autism. But he has allowed for the fact that he may have been wrong. It might not just be vaccines. There might be another culprit too. Being circumcised. That might also cause autism. Because that's the Jews' fault too. Now, I guess that's... Oh boy. Not crazy about that. Not crazy about the explosion in anti-Semitism. Not crazy about that coming back. Shouldn't be surprised. That's like chapter 5 of the Strongman Playbook, so I should have seen it coming, but doesn't make it any easier to watch. People tell me I make too big a deal out of it. People tell me, Clark, anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism are not the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. That is a 100% factual statement. Which is why when you spray paint it on a bagel shopping T-neck, it muddles the message somewhat. Just to clarify, I am not myself Jewish. I'm sometimes mistaken for Jewish. I am not Jewish myself. Yes, I'm neurotic and self-loathing, and I got a hairy butt, and I don't believe in God. But I'm not technically a member of the tribe. Some bright spots in 2025. The No Kings protests. Millions spilled out into the streets. Elsewhere in the country, I don't know what happened to mine. I was literally the only person who showed up for the Hoboken No Kings protest. Just me. That was awkward. And I mean, look, I didn't even understand what it was about, to be honest. Like, I'm down for the cause. You tell me to be somewhere, I'm there. But I was just like, why? Grocery prices are out of control everywhere. Why are we singling out this one chain? Is it? It is pretty bougie. I mean, that's the shipyards for you. Don't get me wrong, I did my part. Threw a brick through the window, doxed the seafood manager. Just didn't know why. Oh, man. Other bright spot, the elections a while back. The elections a couple months ago, that was a bright spot. Blue wave, baby. That's right. Man, we ran the board that night. Yeah. Blue wave time. That was great. That was, and this is, they say you can't fight hate with more hate. They say that only love can conquer hate. And I don't think that's true. I think that hate, when properly honed and directed, can be an invaluable tool in the fight against hate. Because look at those landslides for Abigail Spanberger and New Jersey's own Mikey Sherrill. That is hate manifest when you get lopsided numbers like that. I mean, come on. Do we love leggy blondes who used to work undercover as CIA spooks? Do we love leggy blondes who used to pilot choppers for the military? Okay, I'm getting a semi just talking about this. Those were the two worst examples I could have possibly chosen. It was, oh man. Look, I'm trying to take the win. I'm trying to just be happy about it, but I just can't stop thinking, yeah, sure. Now you're voting for hot Gen X chicks. Now, when it's for 2% of the executive power and 0% of the media saturation, now you'll do it. Oh, if you people had been in this headspace a year ago, I'd have a half black, half Desi babe on my TV and my news feed every night. Instead of a talking like Poma. Fine, it's fine. Oh. They call politics show business for ugly people. You ever hear that? Politics is show business for ugly people. You've heard that also. Not true. Burlesque. Burlesque is show business for ugly people. All right. Third strike on that one. Keep trying. No, I maintain you only get those margins through hate. And I try to just let hate animate me. I don't want to let it control me. I don't want to let it consume me. And man, I'll tell you, this is going to sound just incredibly corny. But as much as I hate these people, and oh good God, do I hate these people. And I'm surprised I learned this myself, but I don't hate them as much as I love my country. Ain't that a hell of a thing? Because I still believe in this place. After all of this, I'm a chump. I still believe in the promise of America, the indispensable nation, shining city on a hill, all that stuff. I believe in it, and it's a pretty lonely place to be currently. You know, not getting a lot of buy-in on that one, and to be so vastly outnumbered on this, it It was disillusioning at first, I'm not going to lie. But then I remembered. I'm Generation X. With all the knee-jerk contrarianism that implies. Of course I'm in the minority, because I have good taste. I don't even own a TV that's tuned to Fox. So yeah, I'm gonna bring back love of country the Gen X way, with a heaping helping of snotty gatekeeping. That's right. Yes, from this day forward, I shall be an insufferable hipster douchebag for patriotism. Yeah. She's called Lady Liberty. You wouldn't have heard of her. She's pretty obscure. Saw her open for the huddled masses once. Back before she sold out, man. Oh, God. The Jimmy Kimmel situation, that set a chilling precedent, didn't it? That was scary. Didn't like that at all, man. Saw that and I was like, oh, God. Now comedians are going to think they matter. You can see it was already starting. I saw this another amateur comedian who I've met at open mics. I saw she pinned a post on her Instagram. It was just text. Just this big block of text that said, I will not be silenced. Good? Was someone trying? So I put up one of my own. Zoe Saldana will not kick me out of bed for eating crackers. As long as we're dealing in unlikely hypotheticals. That's why you can see even Republicans were turning on Trump over the Rob Reiner thing. If this is what breaks the spell, oh, for God's sake. Oh, comedians are going to be just the worst. It's going to be 2003 all over again. Oh, it turns out we're the unacknowledged legislators of the world. How's my ass taste, poets? I have a confession to make, people. You know, I get up here and I talk a good game about resistance. But I have not been living my stated principles. I haven't. I've been doing exactly what scholars of authoritarian regimes tell you never to do. I have been complying in advance. Keep my head down, keep my mouth shut, thinking maybe it'll all blow over. But the time for that's done, though, because just a couple months ago, right before those elections, in fact, I saw something that radicalized me. And it brought me off the sidelines. It shook me out of my complacency. I'm done being a bystander. I'm ready to fight back. Are you with me? Yeah. I wrote this to be escalatory. It's okay if you're not there yet. We'll work on it. To my eternal shame, I have been like the narrator in the famous poem, Then They Came for Me. I mean, when they came for other marginalized groups, I said nothing. Said nothing. But eventually, they got greedy. They went too far. They came for our children. And that's where I draw the line. Are you with me? Our most precious resource, our future. So to see agents of the state descend upon them and rip their childhood away, that's when I say, enough is enough. Are you with me?
Yes.
Because look, it was bad enough when they moved the starting point to the Ragamuffin Halloween parade from 14th to 10th. But at least it ran all the way down to Newark. This year, they cut off at 5th. 5 blocks. That's not a parade. That's barely enough for me to get crypto to go 1 and 2. And that's the round trip, which parades are famously not. 5 blocks. Are you kidding me, man? God. And as if seeing the barriers at 5th weren't enough to put me over the ledge, ooh, what would have done the trick was the 2 motorcycle cops who swooped in to pull a pincher move on the tail end of the parade to hurry up and whoop, whoop, get on the sidewalk! Get on the sidewalk now! I'm like, you made Hermione cry. Does that make you feel like big tough guys? Paunch and John? Did you get that was Paunch with an AU? Because one of them was fat. Did that? A lot of this is better on paper. Oh, God. Yeah. But at least I know what my purpose is now. Now I know. I was put on this earth to make the Halloween Ragamuffin Parade great again. Are you with me? Yeah! All right, so you're with me, and I'll tell you who's with us. The Elvis impersonator. Yeah. You know the guy I'm talking about? He's up year after year. He is lip syncing his heart out on that flatbed. Oh, man. I know he will be an erstwhile ally in our quest to Mithurpka. And here's how I know. I know based on this quote he gave, drop into Hoboken. Now, just some context here. Drop into Hoboken, this is not advocacy journalism, It's just this, this local I don't even think a human wrote it. I think it's AI generated. And this is from a puff piece. I mean, the title of the article was Ragamuffin Parade Turns Washington Avenue into Sea of Colorful Costumes. Not exactly a ProPublica expose, right? So that's why, to me, it really means something that they closed with this quote from, again, local hero / Elvis impersonator. Listen to this. It was too short. Seems like they're rushing it these days. Now, I realize that doesn't sound inflammatory, but you read between the lines, that man was shaking with rage. Well, his hips were, at least. And now look, I would like to reach out to him myself, but I'm going to be a little busy at the printers and the silk screeners getting all our Mithurpka hats made up. So I'm going to need to enlist your help. Please, if you know John Darnello, let him know it is time to put on his service rhinestone-studded jumpsuit. Rhinestone sharpens rhinestone, as they say. Because we're going to war. That's right. And soon all of Hoboken, nay, all of America shall bear witness to our rage and our tenacity and, yes, our hate. Our hunka burning hate. Oh, God. Well, God, I wish I could leave you guys with some optimism, some kind of light to hold inside on your way home, but things are looking pretty bleak from where I sit, guys. And as always, I blame the phones. There's nothing wrong with America that can't be fixed with touching the grass of America. But we'd have to get a whole lot of people to log off to turn things around. I don't see it happening. Future's looking kind of dire from where I sit. I mean, Jesus, we got internet trolls running the federal government. Everybody gets their news from Kremlin-funded propaganda outlets with names like Chewbacca Intifada or whatever. We're all up to our eyes in AI slop. Oh man, it's not easy. It's not easy for someone like me to make his way in the digital age. I'm an anal OG, man. Wait, that can't be right. Hold on. Analog man. I'm an analog man. I hope you guys won't mind if I end on a serious note. You don't mind, right? Okay. A serious note for an unserious people. Because we treat this all like a game. And it's not a game, guys. It matters. The decisions we make matter. It matters who we decide to rally behind and support. It matters who we choose to elevate to prominence. So I just want us all to make a promise to ourselves and to each other that next time, if there is a next time, let's try to choose wisely. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right.
Yeah, I can't leave it like that. That's I'm gonna have to hedge my bets here. Listen, I talk a lot of shit about the guy. Okay, I don't take it back. I don't apologize for it. But to be scrupulously fair, I haven't seen Fantastic Four yet. Maybe he knocks it out of the park, and I'll end up eating my words. I don't see it. I don't see myself succumbing to Pedromania, but hey, prove me wrong, Mandalorian. Prove me wrong. Okay, now you can have a good night.